Bill, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Gary.
You're a firefighter.
Yes, I am.
How many years?
3 years.
All right. You were ground zero.
Yes, I was.
What were the symptoms that you suffered after that?
Directly after my exposure was a heavy cough, which lasted about a month, at least a month. I had heavy coughing, and I did a number of traditional techniques from cough medicine to try and rid myself of it, and nothing really worked. What they had been prescribing was a steroid for us to take if we had those symptoms of heavy coughing and shortness of breath or any pain in the chest.
What other symptoms do you have?
I have been experiencing just the amount of stress, a lot of spasming in the back, unfocused thoughts. It's hard for me to focus, a lot of fatigue. That was my major issue. After the coughing subsided, which I still have now, just the amount of fatigue, I just, even with all the sleep I had.
You mentioned that you had no success with the traditional approach, but you're now looking into alternatives.
That's right.
What are some of the things you're doing now?
I started wheatgrass, which really made a big impact on my energy level. My fatigue dropped off. I also increased my vitamin C intake. I went from about 2,000 milligrams a day to about 7,500 to 8,000 milligrams a day, and that made a difference. And I also started juicing, just doing green juices. And that's when I noticed the effect of my cough started to diminish shortly thereafter.
What else?
Exercise. I hadn't been, with the situation that we had, you were constantly just working either at ground zero or in the firehouse or dealing with the families. And you didn't have the opportunity to even exercise.
So you feel better?
I feel much better.
Energy coming back?
Yes.
Good. Let me share some additional things for you and for the other individuals. Let me give a protocol right now for all of you or people you know who may be suffering, as Bill and so many other firefighters, or anyone exposed. It could be someone working in one of the toxic dump sites or in laboratories. Anywhere at all where there could be any type of environmental pollutant that's coming into your body, this is a protocol for you. First and foremost, you want to cleanse the lungs. Now, how do you do that? Chlorophyll. Bill mentioned he takes wheatgrass juice. Wheatgrass is one of the single best, but not the only one. In fact, any of your dark green vegetables will do that. Just make sure that you dilute it. Generally, 10 parts of water to 1 part dark green vegetable. That way it's tolerable. And have that throughout the day. Start with 1 glass of vegetable juice a day and then build up to where you're doing 6 glasses a day. Now, assuming that it's not interfering with Coumadin or any of the medications you're taking, you'll want to make sure that you also include fruit juices. The best detoxifying juice is watermelon juice. Watermelon with cranberry, cherry, red raspberry, strawberry are phenomenal. Not only things that are green have chlorophyll. Chlorophyll can come in any different color, including red, orange. Make yourself a cleansing cocktail in the morning. Bill, this is easy to do. For you and everyone at home, start with a lemon, a lime, and you want to juice it, the whole thing. Then you want orange and grapefruit and a little bit of raw honey, bee propolis, and vitamin C and aloe vera. Throw all that together into a juice it, stir it up. You can sweeten it with raw honey to taste. And by the way, raw honey is great for your throat. Good. Because it kills bacteria. Honey is the only food in the world that doesn't go bad. And it's what historically is the most commonly used medicine throughout history because they would pack it into wounds because it kills bacteria. And bee propolis, which is what they take out of the hives, it comes from the poplar tree. The bee propolis is what bees use to keep infections from occurring inside the hives. You could have 100,000 bees in a giant hive without getting them sick. It's the bee propolis that does that. Now, let's say that you're more seriously ill. You're really suffering from an acute condition. Then what we would do, Bill, is we'd do an intravenous drip of high levels of nutrients like glutathione, selenium, which will help from cancer, B12, vitamin C. And what that does, that bypasses your gut, because you can only take so much of this in through the gut, and it goes directly into the bloodstream, and that's where it really stimulates the body's immune system. Where someone may only be able to take 2 or 3 or 4 or 5,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day orally, they could take 50 to 75,000 milligrams intravenous, and I've seen nothing less than a miracle with people. I've seen people improve or remove completely diseases that were thought to be incurable.
Squeeze it.